Alright, yeah, welcome back to some more Magic Arena, and today we're going to be jumping back into some Explorer, and we're going to be playing a deck that is based off of a Pioneer list that won in I think it was a Japanese tournament, so you know it's going to be some crazy deck when it comes from a small Japanese tournament, because they have all sorts of nonsense going on there, and it did pretty well. I don't know if it won, I don't know who built it, so I apologise, I can't give credit where it is due. I just found the list online and it looked hilarious, and it had a positive record, and it doesn't look like it should. So we're going to be playing a deck I like to call Child's Play, and it's built around this wonderful, wonderful card right here, Metalwork Colossus, made by Hyan Tran, age 6. We're gonna give Hyan Tran the credit that they deserve instead. They built the deck. So it's an 11 mana artifact creature, a 10/10 that says this spell costs X less to cast, where X is the total mana value of non-creature artifacts you control. And then you can also sacrifice 2 artifacts to return Colossus from your graveyard to your hand. So if it dies, you can sack a couple of the artifacts that helped make it nice and cheap in order to play it again. So why is this deck suddenly existing now in Pioneer and Explorer? It's because in New Capenna we got access to Brass Knuckles, a 4-mana artifact equipment. It says when you cast this spell, you copy it, and the equipped creature has double strike as long as the equipped creature has 2 or more equipment on it. So basically, you get 8 mana worth of artifacts in play for 4 mana, and it costs 2 to basically give something double strike. So what's twice 10? That's 20. What's your opponent's starting life total? 20. Alright, so on an open board with your Brass Knuckles, if you can get this down, you can basically cheapen your Metalwork Colossus to make it almost free. Equip it for 2, make it have double strike, it's swinging for your opponent's life total. GG. Well, if your opponents have blockers, that's a little bit of an issue, isn't it? We've got ways around that. We've got Gilded Pinions in the early game. 2 mana artifact, equipment again. The equipped creature gets flying, but also when it enters the battlefield, you create a treasure token which can be used as a ramp spell of sorts, which is really nice. The treasure token itself is not going to cost reduce the Colossus because it's 0 mana value, so you know. But all of these 2 mana rocks here are also going to make the Colossus nice and cheap. So the Pinion's giving flying, so suddenly we've got a flying double striking 10/10. So again, we're attacking for lethal. If they have a flyer, what do? Well, we've got Wedding Invitation, a 2 mana redraw, but you can also sacrifice it in the late game to make a creature unblockable. So suddenly, no matter what your opponent has on board, Colossus can swing for that 20 damage that you're looking for, which is pretty sweet. We also have Moonsnare Prototype as a way to tap some untapped artifacts to create colorless mana. We can also channel it, discard it for 5 mana to put a non-land permanent on top or bottom of their library, so we can get that flyer out of the way if we don't have the Wedding Invitation, which is pretty sweet. We've got Ingenious Smith to find all of our artifacts, as well as Karn the Great Creator to -2 in order to find another artifact. You might be asking if this is the build around, where's your 4th copy? It is in the sideboard right here. So we got 3 copies of Metalwork Colossus in the main deck, and then we got 4 copies of Karn the Great Creator, which can be a -2 for a Metalwork Colossus. So this is actually how many Metalwork Colossus we have in our deck. We've got a pretty nice amount. We are gonna find it pretty often, really. We've also got 2 copies of Inventor's Fair, which allow us to search for an artifact if we've got 4 or more artifacts in play, which usually means that whatever we search for, if it's going to be the Colossus, it's going to be free. 4 or more artifacts is going to make the Colossus pretty damn cheap anyway. We also have, as a backup plan, Karn Scion of Urza, the -2, making constructs that get +1/+1 for each artifact you control, so benefiting off of our actual baseline game plan in order to make some threats. These constructs can become very large and can be equipped with the Brass Knuckles and Gilded Pinions themselves, which is pretty sweet. So, you know, we have quite a fair few ways to win the game. Lots of ways to dig for the ways to win the game. We've got 12 cards that redraw, basically, which is very nice. And also, as well, something to note, if the Metalwork Colossus gets exiled instead of going to our graveyard, Khan can -2 to get that exiled Colossus from exile and put it back into our hand, which is pretty sweet. So talking about Khan the Great Creator, we do have a Khan board here. So the Metalwork Colossus we've spoken about, we want to have that 4th copy in the side so we have extra copies in the main deck, basically. We also have Tormod's Crypt for Graveyard Hate, Grafdigger's Cage for polymorphing nonsense, as well as more Graveyard Hate as well, a little bit more of a permanent solution to it. Tormod's Crypt here is more of like a panic button. If we're on turn 4 and we need a way to exile a graveyard, that's one way to do it, and then Cage can be our extra one. Shadow Spear against the aggro matchups. If we get a Metalwork Colossus in play and have it equipped, that's an 11/11 trample lifelink. Our opponent probably can't win through that. Glass Casket as removal. Sky Sovereign as repeatable removal as well. Can hit any target for 3 damage. Or creature or planeswalker, sorry, not any target. And then we also have Godfarer's Statue. This is the flex slot, really. It's going to make your spells, your opponent's casts, cost 2 more to cast, and at the beginning of your end step, each opponent loses 1 life, but it's also 6 mana from a non-artifact creature, a non-creature artifact, sorry, which is also going to cost reduce the Metalwork Colossus, so it's going to be nice and taxing for aggro decks and things like that. Maybe combo decks that really want to go off are going to really struggle to do that through the tax, but yeah, really this is the flex slot. If you can think of any better cards for this slot, by all means leave them in the comment section below, I'd love to hear it. But yeah, that's going to be the deck for today. It's pretty sweet. We're going to be attacking our opponent with children's drawings, you know, the typical meme strategy. I will say I've already played the games, and my verdict on this deck is that it is good but not great, so do craft this at your own risk. Though, obviously, a lot of these cards are quite playable outside of this deck. So, other than, I guess, Metalwork Colossus and Spire of Industry and the Inventor's Fair, you're going to find a home for the rest of these rares and mythics that you do need to craft. Doomscar's highly playable. Khan the Great Creator comes and goes. He's always around for, you know, certain non-rotating format cards. Long-term, Khan the Great Creator is going to see a lot of play. Khan Scion of Urza, a little bit more of a flex slotty kind of thing. You know, one of the copies will be good for Brawl. Second copy, maybe not so much. You never know. But yeah, this deck's a hell of a lot of fun to play. I hope you guys enjoy it. If you do, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe for more content like this in the future. And without further ado, let's get to it. This video is brought to you by the generous support of our wonderful patrons and channel members that you see here. If you'd like to support the channel and get access to cool content like sneak peeks, bonus videos, polls on future content, or access to a personal deck critique from myself every month, then hit the join button down below, or check out the Patreon link in the description. With all that said, let's get into the gameplay. Alrighty then, we're in on the play with some ramp and redraws and our brass knuckles as well, so yeah, I'm keeping the crap out of this, I think. Gonna go blue, Moonsnare prototype, say go. Hope that we're not up against some aggro deck, because that would make things quite difficult. That is a Grixis land. Do you go Wedding Invitation, or do you go Pinions for the treasure token? I guess Pinions would allow me to do, like, double Invitation. It would also be 4, 8, 9, 10, 11, so I could do Metalwork Colossus next turn if I drew one. So I think that's probably the correct thing to do. I can also, like, tap Prototype on the treasure token. I didn't think about that. Don't actually have to use the actual treasure. Could just do that. Look at that. Isn't that fancy? Another Wedding Invitation. Alright. Spinning our wheels a little bit here. Hoping for one of them Colossi. Without the fear of it being exiled. Thoughtseize. Help yourself. I mean, you're going to take Brass Knuckles. Because why wouldn't you? Do I even need the Knuckles anymore? It's 1, 3, 5, 7 we've got. 8, 9, 10, 11. I can cast a Colossus without it. Ooh, Khan. I think we're gonna go Khan here. I shocked myself so that I could tap the prototype and pay for sensor for the record. Do I want to redraw or make a construct? I'm not confident that my constructs are going to live all that long. So maybe I'm going to start ticking up here. Alright, another card and a Doomscar. I think both of those are going to be relevant. I'm guessing they're going to give me... Oh, I wasn't expecting Doomscar. I was expecting Spare Khan, if anything. Maybe that just means that they've got Khan murdering techniques in their hand. It's quite likely to be the case, I'd imagine. Fable of Le Mirabriquier. Okay. And we get Genius Smith. Let's start with the Smith. Got a Metalwork Colossus. Alright. It's 4 mana. So if I play my Brass Knuckles... which apparently I can do now. Oh yeah, I have to crack my treasure to do it. How's this read? Sack 2 artifacts? I think I'd rather shock myself than use the treasure up, honestly. So let's get some Brass Knuckles in that makes the Colossus free. Fatal pushes my Smith, sure. Colossus for free, and then I'm going to make a Construct token.
Evil cannot withstand a righteous army.
And we've basically got the win next turn. Short of double removal, I think. Okay, so they get to do some looting. Because either way, I can double equip onto one of these and make it unblockable. And Khan can be my extra artifact if I should need it to do 20 damage with the construct. The construct, should I say. This Doomscar's looking a little worse for wear now, but that's fine. Gonna get in for the 5th mana. Absolutely, that probably means there's 5 non-lands in their hand. It's a block like this. I think this is Nasty Bolusman. I don't know what they're doing. I have decided. Alright, let's make another construct. Let's then double equip onto one of these. Let's go for Metalwork Colossus, I think, instead of the construct, in case it's bounce magic. I can't replay the construct. Might as well get the pinions equipped here, I guess, as well. I don't think it matters too much. Could matter slightly, actually. Because I have to sack some artifacts to get the Colossus back, don't I? So... attack you for 30. Does my one-trick pony work? No! Alright. Attack you for 10, then. 9, sorry. Oh, do you have a fatal push as well? I can sack the construct if they try to kill it to get Metalwork Colossus back to my hand. I think they know that, which is why they're not firing it off. So I can do this and this, sack this and this to get it back to my hand. Still free. Play Metalwork Colossus. Re-equip Metalwork Colossus. Keeping that pressure up, baby. Oh man, look at this. Alright, it's dead again. That's fine. Pass the turn. Okay, they get a reflection. And they've just gotta keep killing stuff, otherwise they're in trouble here. Let's go Smith. They do have a cling to dust, which is a thing. Let's go Prism. Metalwork Colossus. I love this deck. This deck is fantastic. So I've got lethal in the air. I got lethal on the ground. Might as well equip it up, I suppose. They've got to kill both constructs. So I'm gonna attack. If they go for kill flying construct, I'll make my ground one unblockable. I guess I should have probably just done that anyway. Yeah, that was a bit silly of me, wasn't it? Alright. We did that, and the prism. Yeah, I should have made that unblockable to begin with. But... I mean, look at my boards. I don't really care. This is wonderful. So many mistakes, and so little our opponent could do to punish it. Just absolutely wonderful. Look at this, a force of nature, a face to fear right here. Love it. Love it. Alright, could be played better. It's literally my first time ever playing the deck, so do forgive me for making a couple of mistakes here and there. But of all the matches I didn't think I could win, it's main deck Culligan's Command I thought I would struggle with. You know? And board wipes and removal are my only cards in my deck. I figured I would struggle against those, being that Colossus was likely to be the only creature I was ever going to cast, but we had lots of constructs, we had Ingenious Smiths, and we had several Colossi, all threatening lethal at the same time. It's just a wonderful state of affairs, and on to the next one. Okay, we're in, and this hand's pretty damn keepable, I think. It's Pinions for ramp, it's got the Smith which we can cast, the Pinions can get the prototype into play, so that the second Pinion's treasure doesn't need to be sacked in order to generate mana. It's a slow start, I would have liked a turn 1 play, but we'll keep it. Hopeful Initiate. We don't like Hopeful Initiate, because that means it's mono white, and mono white can attack and destroy artifacts and enchantments. I think we're going to start with the Ingenious Smith. Let's go with a Wedding Invitation. So the Initiate can attack through once, but it can't attack through with training. And then next turn I could do Pinions into Portable Hull, something like that. That's going to add 3 mana discount. Don't care too much about that. It's definitely not a creature I want to leave around anyway. So I get to go Pinions... No, never mind. I was going to say Pinions prototype into Portable Hull, but this generates only colorless mana. Yeah, I don't want it attacking and getting its counter, so let's just Portable Hull it now. Have that be dealt with. Next turn I can block the bodyguard, no problem. We're at 8 mana for the Colossus, so we're getting there. Elite Spellbinder. Can't say I care too much about that. Gonna take the Doomscar, sure. So it's gonna cost 7 mana. So a little bit out of my price range, I will admit. So if I shock this in to play the prototype, this would then turn this into colorless mana, so I have 3 mana. I don't think I can really do too much. Actually, Pinions makes a treasure. So if I do Pinions makes a treasure, I could then shock this in, play an Invitation. Yeah, I think I want to do that. I'm going to get this Metalwork Colossus down next turn if I can. So now it costs 3. I can actually hardcast it now, which is sweet. I'm going to pass the turn again. I don't know what they do about Metalwork Colossus. I guess they would Brutal Cathar it. That would make some sense. For sure. But now they've used it. They know about the Colossus though, which is spooky. They know about it and they're still going to Cathar me. Oh god, they've got another Initiate as well. Yeah, I like desperately need my Doomscar now. I've only got 4, 5 mana. This is 6. So I'm 2 turns away from actually getting into a good position here, where I could reset this board in a meaningful way. But yeah, I think I'm just going to get done by the aggression here. They can't really get in with the Cathar, which is at least useful. That just took a turn away from my Doomscar. Not ideal. If they want to attack me, they're going to lose 3 power. Or give me an Ingenious Smith. I'm going to take the Ingenious Smith if you offer it. Because that's going to be my way of potentially winning the game. Yeah, they might regret doing that. Because now I get a shot at Brass Knuckles, which could kill my opponent. Well, Brass Knuckles is my next card, isn't it? Doomscar. I mean, alright. We take that. Does this keep me alive? I don't know. We'll have to see. I've got 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'd have to go like 7, 6, 5, 4. Yeah, I'm gonna wait on the Colossus, sack him. It should really be telling me how much it costs, I think, from the graveyard, but... Rest in peace. Alright, well now I've got to pull it. It's got to be these 2 here. Cost 7. 3 for 5, 6. A land will allow me to cast Colossus. Thank you. Could also just play Doomscar. I die to Brutal Cathar. If I just play Colossus. They die if I get to equip the Pinions. I don't know if they can damage around me. So I'm going to play Colossus. If they can't answer Colossus, I fly and win. I think it's worth testing their deck rather than my own. Ah, they've got an elite spellbinder. Okay. That puts me back on dead. Does that put me back on winning? I equip. Can I still afford prototype? I certainly can. Ooh, baby. Back you go. GG. No protection, no God's willing? You wouldn't run God's willing, would you? Killed by children's art. Thank you, High and Tran, age 6. Oh, baby. Alright, a 6-year-old took down Mono White. On to the next game. Thank you very much. Alrighty then, we're on the play with an awkward hand. Actually can't cast the portable holes, right? Because I need another artifact. The brass knuckles are great, though, to get the metalwork Colossus out. I've got a Karn. I think you've just got to mulligan that hand, though. It's just too likely to backfire. And this one looks great. I'm definitely going to put another Colossus to the bottom. I want to be able to cast one, so making sure I've got these two is definitely exactly what I want to be doing. And then Ingenious Smith can be my early game defense and aggro as well. Haunted Ridge. Alright, I think I am going to start with the Ingenious Smith. Could even just get another Metalwork Colossus off of this one. Huh. Let's go Wedding Invitation. I can do Pinions into one of my 2-drops. And that's a 4 cost reduction, which is really nice. Yeah, not too sad about that. So we're up against like Rakdos mid-range then. So we're going to do Pinions into Invitation. Colossus just got 4 mana cheaper. This is going to be a difficult matchup for us, no doubt. Mostly because they've got like Graveyard Trespasser, Kolaghan's Command, Speak of the Devil. These kind of things are going to really make us squirm. Khan the Great Creator, what are you doing? Anything or nothing? You're doing nothing right now, because Trespasser would kill you if you minused, and ticking up's not going to do much. So, let's go Prism. Invitation. And there's another Prism to make Colossus 1 mana next turn. Okay. But they are in Kolaghan's Command range, so they can destroy artifacts and make me discard. Sorin can make a flyer, so I can't just Pinions over the top.
Out of my way. I have a wedding to stop.
Okay. So let's play Spire. It's a tough call, because I could do a number of different things. I could go Khan the Great Creator for the Godpharaoh statue. Make our opponent's spells cost a lot more. It's going to force the Kolaghan's Command onto that for sure. Could even go get Sky Sovereign to kill Trespasser. Or I could just play Prism Colossus. Let's do Prism. Oh, bit of lag. This game is so broken right now, chat. It's kind of sad. Alright. Pinions equip. Like, my sound's gone. There's input lag. Wizards is really struggling to make a quality product. Yeah, so if they like K-command the Colossus and then attack, I've just lost my Colossus, which is really annoying. Although Khan the Great Creator can pull Colossus from exile, so there is that. Just remember that that is a thing. This doesn't pull from your sideboard, it pulls from outside the game or in exile. So it does both. Opponent gets a Heartless Axe, so they have the answer to the Metalwork Colossus. This has got to be like one of our worst matchups, there's no doubt. I can also sack in response to avoid the Trespasser, but doing that's going to make my Colossus like cost more, which is the annoying part. Yep, sure. Which one do you want to take? The Illusion of Choice. So they're going to force the issue. I'm going to be forced to make it an issue. Get rid of the prisms. Yeah, now I've got 5 mana Colossus. They're drawing 2 cards a turn. It's all really horrible. I think I do go for the Godfarer's statue here. Yeah, we've lost sound now completely. Except for my lovely voice, I guess. Yeah, let me just make, like, life difficult for them. It's also cost reducing the Colossus, so that's quite nice. Unless they find a Thoughtseize here. I've got Kolaghan's Command Discard Protection with the Spire of Industry. But yeah, I can statue into Colossus for free. Not quite equip the Pinions, though. Alright, we have Crux of Protection as well. Not that you'd know he's here, he's a silent ninja. Fable. So they can cast Crux the next turn. I'm just going to concede, because you guys like sound. I like hearing things as well. And we're also just going to lose, so... yeah. This is definitely a bad matchup. I think you want to avoid this one like the plague, if you can. It's basically this deck existing is the reason why this deck could never be tier 1. Or even tier 2. I think this is tier 3. I mean, I don't think anyone's going to disagree with that. But we could play the statue, we could play this, it's going to die, our opponent's going to get to play Croxa, they're going to kill me, and then we move on. Next game. Alrighty, we're in. We've got a pretty good hand. We got some redraws, we got the Brass Knuckles to make the Colossus nice and cheap. We're going to keep the crap out of this one. So on turn 4 we can get 8 cost reduction, 9, 10, 11, 12. So we should on turn 4 have a Colossus ready to be equipped. If all goes well. We do have a backup plan of Khan as well. So let's go Prism. Get a Moonsnare prototype. Okay. It's basically a free card that does ramp. Since these don't generate mana, I can make them generate mana. Alright, it's the Rakdos matchup again. Not ideal. So we're going to play the prototype. Going to play the Invitation. And then we're going to play this tapped. I suppose the upside of a lot of these redundant cards and getting this down nice and early is if our opponent does have like Graveyard Trespassers and Answers to Colossus, we can sack them and then replay them without much trouble. Like double Brass Knuckles giving us 2 artifacts to sack is pretty nice. Especially when I can just recast one and make it free again. So we can definitely fight through some removal here. And we've got the Khan as a backup plan to make some constructs. So we quietly take 3. Loudly gain 1. Jesus. Headphone users, I'm so sorry. Alright, we're going to do this. Make 2 copies of Brass Knuckles. Get a free Metalwork Colossus. And pass the turn. They're going to do some looting. No doubt they can kill this Colossus. But that's fine. I've got the Great Creator to get me another one. Gets rid of Fatal Push and Hive. I think they'd like Hive a little bit more, but maybe they've got a spare one. They're certainly not going to harvest the Colossus. Sorin, did they just lose the game? They just lost the game, right? To the Stone Cold Nuts. Alright, opponent's not reading my cards, I think. Or I'm not reading my cards. It's one or the other. Either way, equip this. Then I'm going to equip this. Then we're going to make it unblockable. Yeah, target creature can't be blocked. I just read the vampire bit and I was like, hang on. Something's going on here. But yeah, that is a turn 5, 20 damage to your face attack there. And we quietly take the victory. That's what the deck does. That's how it scares people. And again, it's a nice case of reading the card explains the card. Sacrifice Wedding Invitation. A target creature cannot be blocked this turn. If it's a vampire, it also gains lifelink. I think our opponent assumed they could block for the turn, and they were buying themselves some time. I do also have the Gilded Pinions to swing over the top, so it's not exactly the greatest idea. I'm also surprised they didn't go and make the vampire token. I guess maybe them not making the vampire tokens, them indicating that they know they can't block. I don't really know. I don't know. These 4 cards can't be removal. If they were removal, then our opponent made a grave error, not killing the Colossus, but we'll never know, will we? On to next game. Alright, on the draw with a Prism into potentially turn 3 Doomscar, and then just do some Karn stuff. If it's creature matchup, we're in a good spot. Does this sleeve say creature matchup? It says nothing to me, to be honest. I'm going to keep this hand, though. I think turn 3 Doomscar has very good potential in a format of best of 1. So I'm going to go White Pathway, say go. Thought Seize me. Alright. Can't really Thought Seize anything I care about here. I'm going to take the Prism. Sure. So it's going to be Rakdos mid-range, our favourite matchup that we keep on playing over and 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 over again. Doomscars are relatively good for Rakdos mid-range. They're not the greatest, but... you can have my other Doomscar. I think 1 is fine, thank you. Let's play the Radiant Fountain. Yeah, I mean, just Kolaghan's Command is just an absolute get-bodied kind of card for us. We're not a big fan. We're also not a fan of not drawing cards. We literally just skipped a draw step there. That's not ideal. I guess I'm going to tick up with Karn, Scion of Urza. Double Prototype, the Illusion of Choice. Alright, it is turn 4 and we have not got a single non-creature artifact into play. Fortunately, we're out of singular stomp range. Can actually go Doomscar here. I think that's correct to do. Probably should have ticked up the Karn first, just to see if there was a better option. Alright, give me the Pinions. Yeah! Hand me that goodie. Goody goody goodness. Alright, let's turn that treasure that we don't need into a cost-reducing prototype. So now got an 8 mana Colossus. I didn't even notice we had another Colossus in exile. It's going to be worth grabbing eventually. Gets rid of the Graveyard Trespasser. That's kind of interesting. Maybe going for a Sorin here or a Chandra. Bloodchief Thirst my Karn. Okay. Portable Hull. Gets rid of a blood token, but that's not really doing much for us. I'm going to tap the Fair to play the Smith. Because there's entirely a chance here that I'd actually want to play the other Fair. Tap the Pinions. So this is going to make Colossus free now. Which is nice. Fly out there, my friend. And realistically, I don't think I'm going to need to play the Fair in order to equip one Knuckle. Because I think Colossus is just dead here. But if they don't kill it, get rid of Smith. Did you just lose? You just lost? Okay. Some players, man, they just don't read the card to explain the card. I mean, surely there's a better play you could have made there, right? Surely one of these cards here could have done it. I know for sure they had this Blood Chief's Thirst that could have killed Metalwork Colossus. And they knew about this card. They knew it was going to come eventually, because there's one right here, but I don't know if they knew about the one in my hand. I think they did, right? They thought seized me at some point? I guess, no, I didn't have it in my hand when they thought seized me. I don't know. I'm confused on that one. I also have Inventor's Fair as well I can go grab, because I've got 4 artifacts, and sacking the Inventor's Fair for 4 mana allows me to get a free Colossus, so... Yeah, I mean... I don't get it, but we won. So we played a lot of Rakdos today, which is what I would consider a bad matchup, and we've had at least a neutral, if not positive, win rate against it, but I don't think that's really indicative of it being a good matchup. A lot of the times our opponents just tapped out and lost. In general, though, like Kolaghan's Commands and Heartless Acts and every other removal spell that our opponent runs in their deck can deal with what we're doing. So the fact that they didn't do those things is really questionable, but we won. I'm just going to leave this artwork up while I talk. We won, and yeah, that's all I can really say. This deck is, I wouldn't recommend crafting it, unless you're going to play it in like the casual formats, I guess, because in ranked it seems like it has a lot of bad matchups, Rakdos being one of them. We got lucky with the Rakdos matchups for sure, but I can see you all getting very unlucky in the future. And it's not exactly full of cards that you want to be crafting with your rare wild cards. It's not overly expensive, and there is a lot of cards in here that, you know, we'll see play in other formats and see play in general, but yeah, I don't know. I'm torn on this one. Either way, I guess this is me saying craft at your own risk. It's fun, but it's not great. It's good, but it's not great. So, yeah. If you have enjoyed the content anyway, guys, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more content like this in the future. I'm going to leave it off here, and take care, and peace.